So it is disconnecting the connections to the alternator that is underneath the tray. So I'm trying to get rid of the tray completely, and it's pretty simple. There is a lip there, as you can see. You press it and then pull them out. So the main problem for me now is my rain light that I need to disconnect. So I'm just going to write down the wiring for this so I can get it off, and the tray will come off. So guys, we keep preparing for dropping the engine, and next is the gear sensor, which is here. I'm suspecting that this sensor is the next one for me to fail. So I have a spare. Alpha Racing is selling spare sensors that, according to them, is better than the original one. So I would recommend to get one of these as well. So, but we have to disconnect this from the harness to be able to drop the engine. And I took a flat screwdriver, pressed this part up, and then you could squeeze it and pull it out. I'll do that and get back to you. So I'm going to introduce you to the secret box here. There's nothing much secret about it. 27 Torx. You remove this, and you can remove this piece. And underneath is your relays and connections here, which goes to the harness. So what I'm looking here at is that this bracket is attached to the engine. So I need to remove the whole bracket that's holding this piece. And then this sensor, which I have no clue what it is, that needs to be detached as well. So I remove these two and get back to you. So next we're removing this unit, which is attached with this rubber band. So get that aside. This is, I think, the DDC unit. So there's a screw in there to hold the bracket. And then there's a ground point, which we need to remove. So we start by this. So this whole bracket came off, and we can get access, and we can see that there's one ground point there, one ground point there, and then this little guy here is the other end of this bracket that holds the relays. So I see if I can remove that screw in there, which my finger is pointing towards, as you can see, to get rid of the bracket first. So here are the two screws that was holding this bracket on the side. So it's loose, it will not interfere with the engine going slowly down. I'll have to attach these to this bracket so I can find them again. So next we have two ground connections, one there and one there. So I'll try to get rid of them. So guys, the ground connections are removed. So there are two more connections, which is a little bit pain. I don't know how to show them to you, and I haven't figured out. It's to the side of the bike, if you can see where we are at. There's a tab you pull out and press in, and there's exactly the same underneath here where my finger is going now. This one I have no clue how to remove. So probably need to put a flat screwdriver to the side and bend it out. So I'll try to get rid of them and then get back to you. So guys, this one that was attached in there was a pain in the butt to get out. And the other one, which is here, is slightly easier. So you pull this tab back, press it down and yank it out. So to be able to remove this, I need to open this so I can get the harness free a little bit. The harness is attached even here. I don't know if you can see it. Put a flat screwdriver here, pull this part up. There's a push pin there. So then you can move the whole harness by sliding it out, sliding it to the front and then out. So you will get access to this guy. So I think I'm almost there. So guys, just trying to recap. I don't know if I can get all of them. So connections that are connected to the engine is this, what I call them, TPS. I think it's TPS, I don't know, on both sides. You have two grounds here, and then you have this bracket which is attached to the engine. There's one sensor there. So there is the gear indication sensor that is gone, and then the quick shifter sensor you don't need to remove. And if you still have your side stand, there's a side stand sensor that you need to remove. I have not done that because I don't have my side stand. That's on that side. And then of course you need to remove all the coils and the solenoid engines from that side. And then all the way back to these guys that were your alternators. One of them is actually going, let's see if I can find it. There's this cable that goes into the generator. So I need to route that cable all the way back. I don't know if it's the gray one, the black one. So I have to figure out, I think it's the gray one. So I have to backtrace this gray cable and try to feed it back. Yes, it is. Feed it out, because this cable will go with the engine. You cannot disconnect it because it's, as you can see, inside. So those are the connections, and then in the front we had I think it's a cam sensor that goes there, and then another ground point to the side of it. So these two connectors are connected to the engine, and well, I think those are the connectors that you need to get rid of, and of course the brackets for the DDC. So next I'm gonna drop the engine carefully and see if I've missed any connections, and hopefully you guys are with me when I do that. See you soon, bye. So guys, next is to drop the engine. I'll see if I can manage this without help. Best would be to have a friend over. A couple of extra hands won't hurt you. But the basics of it is that you put a jack underneath the engine and raise it just so it keeps it in its place. And then you will need to remove a couple of bolts. They are TX50. So there's one there, one there, one there, and one there on the right hand side. So 4 on the right hand side, and on the opposite side on the exact same place you have 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one is in there. So I start to loosen them and then get back to you. The danger part here is as well when you drop the engine, because it's front heavy, so you don't want the engine to tilt and get damaged on the ground. So I'll see if I can loosen the mounting points and carefully lower this without damaging it. So guys, as I'm trying to remove the attachment points to the frame from the engine, I discovered that behind the generator cover here on the left hand side of the bike, I had the cover on. Of course, there is another sensor attachment that you need to remove, so this is the last one, same as the other ones. Pull this out all the way out and then press it in and remove it. So guys, I have removed these two engine bolts and I put them in order, so further away is down here and then the other one is closest to me, and they look like they're the same bolt. Yours may different depending on if you're using some crash protection or if it's original. Probably you're gonna get a hex bolt like this one in here as well, but they look like the same distance for me. Mine is from Alpha Racing, and for some reason I put double up these crash protections, so I have them on both sides. I think it's enough just to have them there. As you can see, with my crash I damaged some of the frame, but still I put both of them in there. So these two are removed, and the same two are removed on the other side of the bike as well. You can see them there. So the bike is actually hanging on with this one, and the same ones on the other side. So I'll probably start removing the top one first on both sides, and last I'm gonna remove the bottom one. So I'll do that and get back to you. So guys, I'm just holding the front of the engine, and as you can see the whole thing is loose and resting there, so I have to lower the jack. So guys, as you can see, it's fully possible to fist the bike. The engine is out. I would definitely not recommend to do that on your own, which I did. It was a bit hectic. I need to use my knee, my both arms, pieces of my head, I don't know. But essentially I need to tip the engine slightly forward to get it underneath this part. And then as an engine stand for right now, I have some old tires that I use so I don't damage this baby more than necessary. So here's the engine, S1000RR K67. So next up is putting this baby in a box, making some kind of cradle, which I have no idea. I think I need to make a wooden frame and just give it a wash before it goes off. I don't know if Alpha Racing is kind enough to wash your engine, so as you can see there's some debris and dirt in here. So the engine is out, and this is the frame. Funny things you see when the engine is gone is the rear frame. As you can see, it goes slightly up. So when I first saw this, I thought maybe the frame was damaged, but it's not. It's just space enough for the exhaust to be cleared. And I just dropped the bolts back in so I know where they're supposed to sit. So guys, that's it for the engine part. Next I need to clean the frame in and out, and then I haven't decided, but probably I will remove the triple clamp to have a look at the bearings inside there. I don't have any problems with them, but I don't want to start having problems. So if you'd like me to make a video about removing the triple clamp, please get back to me and comment on this one, and I'll fix that for you. So last but not least, just going over connection parts from the harness, what is visible, so you know what we're talking about. There is a ground here that was connected. There's, I think it's a plus for the starter that goes in there, that we removed. On top, of course, you have the coils, 4 coils connected. You have the solenoids connected and the sensor for the cam. And then to the side, this guy, which is probably water temperature sensor, is connected. Behind here, there is a sensor, which I don't know what it is, electrical generator something, that is connected. Then you have this one, I think it's the cam sensor that's connected, and right beside it, it's a ground point. And further down here, we have the gear sensor connected. And of course, you have the cable going back to the alternator that you cannot remove, that comes with the bike. And those should be your connections. If you haven't removed your knocking sensors, they are located here. I just removed them, so that's why I don't mention them. But there should be 2 knocking sensors here as well, if you have them left. And that's all the connection that is to the engine. Down here you can see the filter where that is attached, and these are in and outlets for the oil cooler. One there, one there. And here's your water cooler and the water pump. Sorry, we have 2 more connections, of course, and they are here. These ones to the side. I don't know if this is the TPS or not, but those were really hard to get out because they were sitting pretty close to the frame. So those 2 as well are part of the harness connection. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. As I said, I'm gonna clean this packet and send it to Alpha. Take care, ride safe, see you soon.